What's going on, everybody? Good afternoon, although I don't know if there's too much good about it right now in my book, in my world. And look, I know that a decent chunk at least, let's say a decent chunk of people who watch my videos don't really like it when I talk about things like this. They don't really like it when I harp on this kind of stuff. I made a video a couple days ago talking about some news we got concerning the whole DK Metcalf situation. And the way people acted in the comments was just completely ridiculous and immature and absurd. But whatever, I'm still going to go ahead and keep doing it as I see fit and as I see appropriate. And right now, I think it's pretty fit and appropriate. And I know some people aren't going to agree with the sentiments I express here. Some people aren't going to like it. I don't care. It's fine. I imagine that there will be an audience out there that gets me here, and I imagine there's going to be some people who are maybe a little bit more neutral on the topic that are going to at least be able to see where I'm coming from here when I start getting upset in a couple minutes. So we got some news, and it actually came down right at the start of the stream I was doing with the Hawk's Nest about the running backs in this upcoming draft. And I wasn't really planning on talking about this when it happened because it obviously was going to happen, but I think I have to talk about it now. So, according to multiple sources, a couple hours ago, Geno Smith got extended by the Las Vegas Raiders. He got his contract extension that was obviously coming. We all knew he was going to get paid. We just didn't know how much. Well, the contract it's an extension on the current contract. It's 2 years, 75 million, so that's 37.5 million per year, on top of the 1 year he had left, which was at about 31 million that the Raiders inherited because the Seahawks paid the rest of it. So 2 years, 75 million plus 1 year, 31 million, that comes out to 3 years, 106 million for Geno Smith for the Raiders. As far as the Raiders are concerned, it is 3 years, 106 million. So that's what, 30, that's like 35 million a year basically. Now, the $37.5 million value of the extension would make him the 17th highest paid quarterback in football. Remember, that doesn't even include the 1 year that was already on the deal. So I don't know if it's actually less because most quarterback contracts are up above that to begin with. But the point I'm making is it's really not that much. There are 32 starting quarterbacks in the league right now. Of those quarterbacks, a chunk of them are on their rookie contracts. So of starting NFL quarterbacks that are actually on a negotiated contract that isn't determined by the rookie scale, Geno Smith's contract now makes him actually one of the lower paid starting quarterbacks in football. So just to remind everybody, the contract that we gave Sam Darnold was somewhere around 3 years, 100 plus, a slightly over 100 million. I've seen different numbers from different people. Some people say it's like 101, other people say it's 105, but it's basically about 3 years, 100 and something million. John P. Gilbert on X here believes it's a 105. So he kind of illustrates the point that I want to make in this video. Geno Smith is under contract with the Raiders for 3 years, 106 million. Sam Darnold's contract with the Seahawks is for 3 years, 105 million. So on a 3-year deal, Sam Darnold's contract is $1 million less total. Not even per year, 1 million less than Geno Smith's new deal with the Raiders. So, to anyone out there who tried to defend or at least look on the bright side of the Geno Smith to Sam Darnold move because it's cheaper, we save money. Yeah, no, not really. We don't save anything. We don't save a damn thing. It is basically the exact same deal. We went from Geno Smith to Sam Darnold and basically paid Sam Darnold the exact same amount of money. The only difference might be the guarantees. Supposedly, most of Geno Smith's contract is guaranteed. And also, I believe there are incentives on Geno Smith's deal that could boost it by another 10 to 12 million. To which I say to both of those counts, so what and so what? So, yeah, I already wasn't thrilled with the decisions made this offseason, but now I'm actually getting kind of heated again. Like, this is now very annoying. This is now striking me as really just beyond idiotic. Like, Schneider drew a line in the sand and wouldn't cross it even by a couple $1 million, or he genuinely thinks Sam Darnold is better than Geno Smith, in which case I would say he doesn't understand the first thing about football, or he's obsessed with the idea of getting a younger quarterback, like that's supposed to make him better just because he's younger. I don't know what it is, but I'm not very happy right now. And I think you people can see why. At least I hope some people out there are going to see why. They're going to understand the point I'm trying to make here. There were a couple of different valid reasons why the Seahawks would go from Geno Smith to Sam Darnold. Those valid reasons, as I can see it, were it's cheaper, he's younger, there's less guaranteed. Well, one of those things just flew out the door. It's not really cheaper anymore. It's really not. And does this not also raise many other questions? Just as an example, supposedly the Seattle Seahawks offered Geno Smith $35 million a year. That's one report. So are we then to believe that Geno would have taken 37.5 on an extension, and John, rather than trying to negotiate him and accepting an extra couple $1 million, decided, no, just get out of here. I don't even want to negotiate. I just want you out of here now because I've decided that $2.5 million a year is an impassable line. There was another report that said they offered him $45 million a year, which now seems very clearly not true. It's really hard to imagine that Geno Smith would accept that much less on a contract extension, whether or not he likes Pete more than McDonald or whatever. But there's a few different ways you can read into that. Like, the only way this makes sense to me, okay, possibility number one, John just didn't want Geno Smith because he doesn't think he's good. John just doesn't think Geno's good. Okay? And he decided, you know what, I don't really care about the money. I'm not really going to make him a real offer, or I'm going to make him an offer for peanuts and I'm just going to get him out of here. Or he offered him $35 million a year, which was what one of the reports said, and refused to cross that line for anything, even though who cares about $2.5 million on the cap when you're talking about a quarterback? Or I guess the other possibility is that Geno Smith wasn't willing to play for the Seahawks anymore, but he was willing to play for another team at that same rate, or excuse me, a lower rate, because the Seahawks have done such a terrible job of building around the quarterback and supporting their quarterback that he's just decided, you know what? It's not about money. I just don't want to play for you anymore because you're bad at your job. And the point I'm trying to get to here is that no matter which of those three possibilities it is, he doesn't think Geno Smith is good and just didn't want to keep him. He thinks that $35 million is some line that he cannot cross, or he's done such a bad job building around the quarterback that Geno Smith just wants out and he doesn't really care about money. He just wants to go somewhere else. No matter how you slice it, John Schneider sucks at his job. That's what I'm really trying to get at here. And this is no small thing as far as I'm concerned. This is a big thing. Like, there are Seahawks fans that are hung up on Jalen Carter. There are Seahawks fans that are hung up on Creed Humphrey. And I can see why, to some extent, those guys have become very good players, and the Seahawks had an opportunity to get those players, and they didn't. This is so much worse, it's not even funny. Geno Smith was on the team. He was here. Jalen Carter and Creed Humphrey were never Seahawks. They were just guys that we scouted and we made the wrong call on. But you're scouting them in college. You're scouting them playing on other teams in other leagues. Geno Smith was right in front of your damn face these last 3 years, and apparently you don't value him properly, or you do value him properly, and you just have no idea how to actually build a supporting cast around a quarterback right now. I'm going to stress this again. 17th highest average paid quarterback in football by guarantee and by average annual value. 17th. So not only is he not in the top half, period, in terms of money, he is nowhere near the top half if you only look at guys on veteran contracts, not the rookie scale stuff. And that was something we apparently couldn't swing. And we decided we'd rather have some crappy third round pick. So, yeah. So what's left? Okay, we've got Sam Darnold for basically the same amount of money as we would have been able to get for Geno Smith in theory, right? The same amount of money Geno Smith got. Let's go ahead and put it that way. So what's left? What are we supposed to be happy about? The possibility that Sam Darnold improves to the point where he's better than Geno Smith, long shot. The fact that he's younger, which I really could not possibly care less about right now. The fact that it's easier to get out from under the contract, probably, than Geno Smith's contract, which there's a real possibility that we're going to need that. So I guess that's kind of cool. The only other thing that I can think of, the only other angle that I can think of that kind of makes sense to me is just this idea that after DK Metcalf requested a trade, we just kind of had to move on. We just kind of had to not do the Geno Smith thing because he is too old. But if that's the case, then don't sign Sam goddamn Darnold. What's the damn difference? You're spending the same amount of money on the quarterback. You didn't scale back. You didn't step back. You just signed a different player who, and I know there's room for debate here. I think he's significantly worse. Maybe not massively worse, but even if I did think he was only slightly worse or about the same, what's the benefit now? Like look at the money is not different now. So I don't know, guys. I mean, I was already not thrilled with this decision, but I now think this decision is becoming worse and worse by the minute, and I had to talk about it. All right. So I'm going to go and get out of here. Thanks for watching. Again, I know that people have very immature and goofy reactions when we talk about this stuff. So I'm sure I'm going to see more nonsense down in my comments, but it's something that I feel really needs to be talked about here because I have stood by John Schneider for the most part over the years, partially because I didn't really know what he was doing, partially because I think that the things he was in control of, he was doing fairly well on. But ever since Pete Carroll left, and I'm not saying Pete Carroll was good at stuff either, and I'm not saying that Pete Carroll was like making things happen in a positive direction necessarily, but ever since Pete Carroll left, to me, John Schneider has been very, very poor. He's gotten like maybe one or two things right and gotten pretty much everything else either wrong or to be determined. So I look at something like this and I go, well, that's another strike. You didn't even save money moving from one quarterback to the other. You downgraded at quarterback and paid the same rate because of his age, which I'm sorry, that does like pretty much nothing for me. I don't know why I'm supposed to be excited that, hey, we have a quarterback that is worse. We have a quarterback that probably will not succeed within what we have to give him to work with, but he's younger. I wish Sam Darnold was older. If Sam Darnold was older, maybe he'd retire next year and I wouldn't have to watch him play anymore. Okay, that's not fair. We don't know how he's going to play yet. But you get what I'm saying here, right? What's the point of being young if he's not going to play good? And I suspect that with the way we have built this team, with the way this offensive line is constructed, I don't think he's going to play all that well. So now I can't even get excited about saving money because, as you can see, we kind of didn't. So hopefully he plays well because now we're at the point where if he doesn't play well, this is not just some throwaway thing. Okay? Like there were some people who were saying, oh, who cares if Sam Darnold's bad? We're going to get a good draft pick and it's going to be easy to get out from. No, no, no. Absolutely not. If Sam Darnold does not become, at the very least, a short-term franchise quarterback for this team, somebody that can lead this team somewhere really good, then this is a disaster. So I'm not letting him off the hook for that one. Never. Not in a million years. Sam Darnold needs to be good, and he needs to help this team get somewhere good, or I'm going to judge it very harshly. And so should you. So should you. This should not be some get out of jail free, oh, he was just doing it so he could tank for a draft pick crap. You could spend a lot less money and get a player to tank for a draft pick. All right, guys, so let me know what you think. I'll see you guys later. Go Hawks. And I'm a little teed off here, man. I'm a little teed off. One of the things that was supposed to be good about this is no longer good.